What's up, everybody? ¿Qué pasa, mi hermano? Sete, dime,
Hey,
be.
hey.
All right, so give us a minute while we work out these technical difficulties, and then we're gonna get started with the show. Well, this is a good time to check out WTTSpod.com right here, and to follow
Sure
us.
is.
CT, will you point down? Follow us at WT the Show on IG and Twitter, or don't.
I think no, it'd be this hand right here. It'd be this hand right here. Follow us on WT the show,
we call that hand
IG and
we
Twitter.
we call that hand a stranger. CT. Sorry. Um, Can you tell me, CT, what? How are we sounding?
I gotta be honest with you. Something is wrong with my mic. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Does my mic sound okay?
You sound great.
Okay, but you sound great to me, man. Maybe
It just sounds like I'm being picked up by something else.
it sounds like when we used to just do the podcast, and I would just edit your audio. Is that what it sounds like to you? Like the audio that I had picked up from my end.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like that. I'm gonna record from here. It's a little awkward the way I'm sitting. I'm leaning forward a little bit. My head is gigantic in proportion to yours. So yeah, this
All right.
actually I think you know what I think it is.
What is
I
it?
think you know how you can I gotta mute our stream. I gotta mute our stream. Uh this little knob where you turn up like how much of the gain it's gonna pick up.
Yeah.
I think I have having it turned up all the way. Maybe I blew out the microphone being able to handle that. But now that I turned it down a little bit, I sound better. But of course, I have to sit up.
Okay. All right. We'll solve that. It's okay. We can't. We can't. We God didn't create the earth on one day. CT.
I look like I'm gazing out into a window.
And I just decided to peel an orange right now. So, um, all right, let's start the show. What's up, everybody? It's the Welcome to the Show podcast slash stream slash whatever the fuck you want to call this thing.
Yeah,
CT,
drop that f bomb.
what's good, dog?
Hey man, today I decided I took a scissor to the bottom of my mustache here, and I
Mm-hmm.
clipped the hairs that were curling onto my upper lip.
It was a good
And
decision.
yeah, man, pretty simple, easy fix for those of you out there looking terrible.
You should have saved that for this so that you could do it for our audience.
I should have. I might do that when I have to go back into the corporate world.
Fuck it.
Um,
When you have to get a haircut, let's stream it. Let the people see.
all right. How are you doing, man?
I'm okay. I'm sorry. I'm
what
okay, man.
what's going on?
Nah, you're making me laugh since you said the whole gazing out the window. That's
what
all I see now. I don't know
what's
why.
what's in those oranges, man?
I don't know, man. I wish there was something stronger. But no, this is like day. When did the whole Gobert thing happen? That was over a month ago now.
I would say I think it was exactly a month last Friday or Thursday. I think it's been about. I would say we can say it's been a month.
Okay, so
I would say.
okay, one down, X amount to go. A lot of people have been talking about. We're talking about the coronavirus. If you're not sure what we're referring to, if you're living in a bubble somewhere, but a lot of people have been talking about, why people should be more strict about staying at home and whatever. And I feel like people aren't really understanding why it's important to stay home. It's not that the virus is gonna go away if we start social distancing. And by the way, I think we should social distance. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but the virus isn't gonna stop. So don't get too excited when you start to see the numbers drop and they start lessening the restrictions. It doesn't mean that it's gone. At some point, we're gonna have to come back and live in this world until a vaccine is available. That's just my opinion, though. CT, I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I agree.
So don't get your hopes up in thinking that once the numbers start going down and we start leveling off the curve, that it's smooth sailing from here. That's not necessarily the case. What we have to hope and pray for is that the vaccine becomes available soon. And apparently, the FDA just approved a saliva test produced out of Rutgers, your alma mater, CT. Holla. Are you? I don't know what the other saying is.
Are you?
There it is. Okay.
Pretty
But
much all I
yeah,
got.
I don't even know why I decided to be a downer today and tell you guys that shit. But I'm just saying, I've been getting some text messages, and I'm like, it's not gonna. Doesn't mean it's gonna go away, people.
Yeah, man. Why don't we hit him with some highlights of what's been going on in the MLB world and in the sports world in general?
I'm down for that.
You want to do that now, or you want to save it?
Let's go into the headlines, man. Fuck whatever I'm talking about. Let's go into the headlines.
All right, man. Here we go. John Krasinski, also known as Jim from The Office. We all know the show The Office. I hope. He has a show on YouTube called Some Good News. I had no idea this was a thing until MLB sent me or I think it was Bleacher Report, sent me a notification saying that he got some help from David Ortiz in bringing some good news to some medical staff in Boston. So that's like indirectly related to baseball, Big Papi, David Ortiz.
Wait, there was some baseball news on Bleacher Report? Wow.
Right? No, okay. Actually, before we go on with the headlines, have you noticed that Bleacher Report has really been pushing this like steroid era agenda? What's that about?
I think they're running out of baseball content, and they're trying to find different things to put out there to generate interest in baseball. I don't know. That's the only solution. But if you go on Bleacher Report, you're right. If you go on Bleacher Report today,
it's all steroids.
It's all the 1998 home run chase, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. That's the last thing I saw, at least.
Yeah, it's in. I like it. I went down a rabbit hole looking at all these highlights. Like, this doesn't really. This is steroid era, but it doesn't have. It's not directly a steroid moment. But I was watching, I think Game 3 or Game 4 of 2003 ALCS Red Sox Yankees.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Where Don Zimmer went to attack Pedro.
Oh, I do remember that, but I was remembering the Aaron Boone home run. Sorry.
Okay.
Continue.
Anything else you want to add to that?
No, that's it.
So that's the last. We're not bringing that up for the rest of the show. Is what I'm saying. You get it all out
now. No. Why are you upset? The next year, it was the greatest upset of all time for the Yankees.
Whatever, man. Listen. So it goes like this. Roger Clemens.
Wow.
Roger Clemens throws a high inside pitch. It was barely inside. It was just a high pitch to Manny Ramirez.
Man ran.
Tempers had been flaring prior to that because Pedro had pegged. I forget who that Yankees player was, and it led to the whole thing of Pedro pointing to the dugout with when he had Jorge Posada and stuff. Which by the way, I think their relationship never healed after that. I think they still have beef to this day over that incident. But anyways, tempers were flaring.
How do you make up for that? That's like Varitek and A-Rod. I don't know, and I'm sorry to interrupt your headline, CT, but I don't know if you remember, there was a Red Sox-Yankee series last year, and for some reason, A-Rod and Varitek came in contact. Maybe the ESPN crew interviewed Varitek or something, and it was awkward between A-Rod and Varitek, like super awkward. I don't think you recover from that. Same thing with Ryan Dempster. I can't imagine A-Rod and Ryan Dempster like just hanging out today. Oh, hey, Rye, how you doing? Thanks for,
A-Rod and Ryan Dempster, I don't see coming ever getting healed because I feel like Dempster took it upon himself to instill punishment.
By the way, we're talking about A-Rod again here.
And I was actually going to bring him up, organically. I was going to bring him up on my own on some other news that I want to bring up, but that whole A-Rod and Dempster thing, like that would look like it was bad taste. He went after him like 3 pitches in a row, and it didn't look good. That whole Varitek thing, I feel that was more like emotions were in the air, and I feel like they can both understand, like we shouldn't have. It never should have gotten to that point. Whatever. But yeah, with the whole Roger Clemens thing, Roger Clemens throws a high pitch, Manny Ramirez. I didn't think it was intentional. I didn't think there was an issue, but because tensions were high during that series, Manny Ramirez got pissed, said some words to Clemens. The bench was cleared. Don Zimmer charges Pedro Martinez, and in the highlight, in the slow motion highlight, you kind of see Pedro Martinez like say like, oh, like kind of like,
oh shit,
like, oh, what are you doing? And then he just kind of, rest in peace, Don Zimmer.
R.I.P.
Pedro Martinez like say like, Anyways, uh, oh, more highlights.
Oh, yeah.
MLB has a YouTube channel where they usually just show highlights and stuff like that, but they're actually bringing in. It looks to me, according to this article, 4 new shows that they're bringing to that channel.
Okay.
One of them is called Quick Question, where I guess they will just present these questions to former players and things like that. Like, what's the reason there are outfield fences in Major League Baseball?
Hmm.
Do you know the reason?
Why there are how many fences? Say that again.
Why are there outfield fences?
Why are there outfield fences?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so that owners could charge admission back in the day.
Oh, because otherwise fans could just sit on the
See.
field.
Yeah.
Uh,
I guess charge admission in terms of like they can't stand and look in, peek in, and see
Right.
what's going on and stuff. So
gotcha.
yeah, another show that they got is called Fitted,
As in the
FITTED,
hats.
as in a fitted hat, yeah, which will follow a star and his younger teammate as they try on suits, which we wish we could afford. That's what it is. That's what it's about. Following these stars, getting fitted. No?
Okay, I'm not,
Not feeling that one?
I feel like this is like one of those old timey baseball things where you still hear the stories today, like, oh, when Mickey Mantle was around, he would buy the rookie players a suit, their first suit or whatever. You still hear stories like that. You only hear that in baseball too. Come on, give me something else, like custom kicks or some shit. You know what I mean?
Custom.
Like,
You're right. Yeah, they good concept following these players, and maybe it will have stuff like that. But
or
You're
custom
right.
bats or something like that. Like, I'd rather see how a bat is being made, a custom bat, or the sneakers are a big thing now in baseball, the custom kicks. I'd rather see something like that. But
Yep.
I'm shitting on it before even seeing what it is. So
yeah, as we all do in this day and age, we have everything at our fingertips. So it's like we're all critics.
truth.
Another show is called Stacked. Stacked. So it's gonna be like part interview, part game show, and it's gonna take Major League Baseball players being interviewed by some former softball champion. Don't really know her name. And
Jenny Finch or something.
nah, they've butchered her legacy in baseball, right? Not butchered it. They've
Overplayed it.
overplayed that legacy. She's in everything.
I'm
Right.
hot, man.
Who is? I really don't know who this. I'm trying to find the name. Lauren Chamberlain. There you go.
Okay.
College softball champion and former national pro fast pitch number 1 overall pick, Lauren Chamberlain, and she'll be asking players questions as they play Jenga. Looks like a form of Jenga.
All right.
Looks pretty interesting. And then we have another show, and I'm not really sure what the name of it is. Oh, it's called Newly Bros. Get it? Remember Newlyweds?
Yeah. So, 2 guys getting married.
No, 2 guys seeing how much they know of each other as they're getting asked questions, and they write down the answer. And
Okay. So like teammates.
teammates, yeah.
I like
teammates.
that. I'm with
Yeah.
that.
That's cool. That's pretty good. And then there's another show called The Tryout, and I don't really know what it's about, but it looks like Javi Baez is showing like another non-baseball celebrity how to do things on the baseball field. So that's pretty interesting. MLB's trying, man. They're trying.
They're trying.
You ready for some other highlights?
Hit me.
All right. So MLB is looking to have their season in Arizona. Some things that come about his own opinions
God damn it.
is what?
Are you watching on YouTube?
Let me see.
Your screen just went smaller and then bigger.
I see it.
You get
I'm
bigger
back.
again. You're back.
All right.
Let's just pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna just power through. So with MLB's radical move to Arizona, they're looking to do things like keeping the players in the stands instead of the dugout, 6 feet apart in the stands, trying out an electronic strike zone so that there's no umpires involved, which I like the test of it. Not that I want that to be the final move, but I like it. And of course, no fans will be allowed to watch these games, obviously. And I think I actually saw something on Twitter earlier that they're looking to ban any grouping of events, whether it's like concerts or sporting events, up until fall 2021.
Wow.
So I hope that's just just a rumor where they're being extra cautious, but that's like worst case scenario.
Wow.
I don't know. I know these highlights are taking a while. I'm going to try to breeze through this real quick. NASCAR driver Kyle Larson.
I know exactly who that is, man.
Yeah?
Totally.
Okay. You watch NASCAR?
Hell, I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
So apparently he's a NASCAR driver, and apparently he was doing a virtual race. And while he was doing a mic check, he didn't realize his mic was on. He dropped the N-word. So of course he apologized, and he's been suspended indefinitely by NASCAR and his team. And this isn't really a highlight, but I was
quick question: is this NASCAR driver African American?
No.
Okay. Was he singing a rap song? Maybe like they just caught him by mistake. He was singing.
It sounds like he was doing like "Hey, can you guys hear me?" And when he didn't hear anything, sounds like he just dropped the N-word.
But who just drops the N-word?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Right? Just picture that. I wanna imitate it really bad, but I feel like I shouldn't. But it's just like, all right, go on. Sorry.
No, I mean that's a good question. Like I that wouldn't cross my mind to do, let alone when there's a chance that someone's listening.
Yeah.
So we wonder.
All right.
So anyways, I was gonna bring up A-Rod, like I said, and just applaud the day for bringing up A-Rod again. But we should have a separate segment on this show called Jose Canseco's tweets, because I've been looking through his Twitter, right?
It's insane, man.
And the guy's insane. So yesterday he tweeted, "Happy Easter to everyone except Alex Rodriguez." Why? I don't know. Then he tweets. Then 22 hours ago he tweets J-Lo at J-Lo. He actually adds J-Lo. "I have something to show you for your eyes only. You will not regret seeing it. Contact Morgan at 702-374-3735. So I've always said that the A-Rod scandals haven't ended yet, that we'll see at least two more before he's at like the age of 70 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This could be one of them, but I think Jose Canseco is just clout chasing at this point. He has more crazy tweets. Let me see if I could.
Jose Canseco, by the way, is getting ready to. He already released the podcast, and then there hasn't been anything up on the feed. Apparently, he's trying to come up with a YouTube channel called The Truth Hurts. And basically, he's gonna have guests come on his show and hook them up to a lie detector test and do an interview. And and they're gonna have to be truthful the whole time. And if they lie, clearly, they'll get buzzed, which hurts. The truth hurts.
I don't think anybody would agree to that.
Exactly, and I think they've had trouble getting people to do the show.
I would imagine that they are having trouble. And then just going to read this last tweet here. February 22nd, Jose Canseco tweets, "Downsize 50% of government, then remove 30% with individuals with common sense that live in this world. Canseco for president."
Okay. Good luck with that, buddy.
That's pretty much all that's going on in the sports world today.
That was a pretty good amount, man. Good job. I'm going to give you an
applause. Yeah, man. We squeezed those lemons.
Well done. You made
every last drop.
Made some lemonade.
Ooh, my back is...
It's a hard day's work right there.
Leaning forward to do this. My back is kind of starting to hurt a little bit.
All right. So one thing that you mentioned in your headlines that I feel like we should talk about a little bit more, and if you see me look down, is because that's how I see CT. The whole Arizona Bubble City idea. You mentioned they're going to try to keep players 6 feet apart by having them sit in the stands instead of the dugout.
Mhm.
No umpires on the field, a robo ump instead. No fans. That all makes a lot of sense. So that was one idea. That's the Arizona bubble city, and the rest of the idea is that the teams would play in stadiums around the Cactus League, which I guess there's like every stadium is within like a 25-minute drive of each other, and they're going to utilize like college baseball stadiums and stuff like that if this idea goes through. The players would have to agree to move to this bubble city in Arizona and not leave, basically. So I don't know if their families would be welcome, so on and so forth. That was one idea. The second idea was from Tim Kirkchin from ESPN. He said that an executive or an agent, somebody told him that baseball is going to be played in Japan. And the idea is that the NPB, the Nippon Baseball League, Japan's MLB, basically, they're going to start kicking things into gear pretty soon, and they're going to start playing. The idea is that the NPB would play games at night, and MLB would play games during the day in Japan. Those are the two ideas, CT. Let's start with the Arizona Bubble City idea. Then we'll transition into the Japan idea, and then we'll decide, are these good ideas, bad ideas, how plausible are they, so on and so forth. The Arizona Bubble City. I feel like I've talked for a while now, so let's get your thoughts on it. What do you think?
The Arizona bubble city. I like it better than the other option.
Okay.
Which is taking the games to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason, one big reason for that is because what time will these games get played in Japan?
Yeah, I didn't even think of that obstacle, but I'm imagining there would be day games.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say the game starts at noon in Japan. What time is it here?
You put me on the spot there. I don't know, man.
I'm googling it right now. Time difference between New York and.
I have another comment that I wanted to make. What I should have made during the.
It's almost 12 hours. It's an 11-hour difference.
Okay.
So if it's noon in Japan, it's gonna be like 1 o'clock in the morning here.
Okay.
Midnight-ish, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
It's not gonna work unless you're watching it on a delay, and I don't know if fans are gonna like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And if they want to get the TV money out of this deal, they're gonna have to hope that fans are staying up, super late into the night to watch TV, to watch these games.
Yep.
So, okay. Thanks for throwing a wrench into the works. On the other hand,
I'm sorry.
It doesn't sound like any of these obstacles from Arizona would be the case in Japan. Like, it doesn't sound like they're gonna have to sit in the stands, robo umps, all that stuff. So would you make that trade-off, or still no?
If you're saying that if it goes to Japan, they wouldn't do things like robo umps and all that stuff?
I don't think so. It sounds like Korea, like the Chinese league started up already. Korea's about to kick off, and they're not doing any of these restrictions. I think the players are wearing masks, things like that.
Mm-hmm. First of all, I don't care whether there is robo umps or not. If they can get baseball done with robo umps,
mm-hmm.
I'll take it.
Okay.
So the robo umps isn't like a deal breaker for me. Like if there's robo umps, I don't want to watch this form of baseball. I'll watch it.
Okay.
So but I do have to say that if they have to go through all these, regulations just to get the season started, then I actually kind of don't want them to start the season because I just don't think you can contain something like this. So if they're going to start the season and these guys are together, even if it's 6 feet apart, I just feel like you're just risking an outbreak. So to avoid that, let's just hold off on the season then. It's not the end of the world. As much as I need baseball to start,
damn,
I don't think this is the way to go about it.
Yeah. And with the Arizona League, it doesn't make sense to me. If they want to really practice social distancing, how do you remedy a runner on first with the first baseman? Is the first baseman gonna have to stand 6 feet away from first base? You know what I mean? If the runner takes off to second, is the second baseman going to run away from second?
Yeah.
Or he's gonna, give them a steal?
What are walk-off celebrations gonna look like?
Right?
He's gonna be like, hey,
Well done.
yeah, nice one.
I just don't think any of this is plausible, really. And I agree with you. Until there's a vaccine, I think that maybe the best solution is, as much as it hurts, man, is to cancel the season.
Yeah. And it just hurts because you got guys like, and I got a notification from Bleacher Report earlier today as well. There's guys like Jacob deGrom that are in the prime of their career.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the youth on his side, and it's just upsetting, man. Like, but then again, that's just us being. I think that's just us being selfish. Like, these are not the worst problems to have. Like, being upset that some guy isn't pitching in the prime of in the height of his career. Like, we got to get over it, but it just sucks.
He's gonna be 32 years old in about 2 months. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, he would be returning at around 34. Yeah, man, I agree with you, and I think about guys like Giancarlo Stanton, for example. He's the one at the top of my mind. Not worried about his prime or anything like that, but more that this was an option year for him. Does he get that option next year?
Yeah.
Like contractual issues like that. I wonder what's gonna happen. Guys that were about to complete their service time and
right.
Which I believe they're giving them their service time. So guys like Marcus Stroman was set to become a free agent in 2021. They're going to give him his service time, so he will be a free agent. But what happens to the Mets, who traded a whole bunch of players to acquire him last year, and they're only getting half of a season for him? You know what I mean? Or or the Boston Red Sox, who traded away Mookie Betts.
Yep.
Not the Boston Red Sox. They're set. The Los Angeles Dodgers, who traded away prospects and Alex Verdugo for Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is going to be a free agent in 2021. They lost their prospects for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Would the best option be to just reverse the trades?
I guess. I don't know, man.
We get Mookie back.
Do you reverse all the free agent signings too? Excuse me.
You mean like who? Who's some of the signings?
Garrett Cole.
No, because he's there. He signed a multi-year contract.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a messed up situation. I really don't know what the answer is.
It's really fucked up.
It's just I'm more upset that certain players. Okay, I'm equally upset that there's no MLB season as I am that players like DeGrom, Freddie Freeman, JD Martinez, Kershaw.
I think Marcell Ozuna signed a 1-year deal. So
guys
what happens to him?
All that stuff. Guys, down to college baseball players, seniors in their last year or something, which I think in college is okay actually because it's all about like the time that you've played. It's not about like what school year you're in. It's more of like have you played 4 years of college ball and stuff like that. So I think they'll be okay. But either way though, just missing out a season in your youth,
Yeah.
Like you said, players that are on like on a contract year. I'm equally upset at that as there not being a season.
Yeah. So all right, so there's another option though, and I haven't heard anybody really talking about this, and it's that eventually the curve is gonna slow down, flatten, and eventually less cases will begin to appear. Hopefully America will get its shit together and we'll have widespread testing, so on and so forth. So eventually social distancing restrictions are gonna be lifted a little bit. So say, especially because you have places like California, I think in Florida, their cases aren't ballooning like they are in New York and stuff. And maybe it's the warm weather. Nobody knows. But I'm just saying, follow me down this journey for a little while, CT. Mm-hmm. What if baseball ops, let's have a 2-month season, July and August, the hottest months of the year. Each month has 31 days. You do doubleheaders on Sundays, 7-inning doubleheaders. Maybe you do 2 doubleheaders a week. And you play a season. Try to squeeze in 81 games into 62 days somehow. and then you transition into a bubble city idea for the postseason, or you go overseas if you have to. What about something like that?
I'm
This
missing.
year, I just think this year nothing's gonna be the way we're used to seeing it.
Oh no, definitely not. Yeah.
So
But I guess I'm missing. I'm missing how is the bubble city scenario different from what you just?
that you get to see regular baseball for 81 games, hopefully.
In the regular stadiums and stuff like that.
Regular stadium, because I mean, Anthony Fauci said, he did say, don't hold me to it, but we could see loosening social distancing restrictions next month, hopefully. So I'm saying that that's a conservative estimate. I'm saying let's assume that by July, social distancing, we're in April now, so May, June, July, 3 months from now, social distancing restrictions are lifted. You're able to go out. Maybe they say limit 100 people in a stadium or something. No fans, but the players can play with masks on. Play 2 months, July and August, 31 days each month. Double headers twice a week. Try to fit in 81 games somehow into those 2 months. And then
we're talking no breaks, right?
No breaks.
Yeah, I don't think the union would agree to that. The players' union.
You know what else I just thought about? No minor leagues. What happens if a player gets hurt? Who do you call up?
Just cancel the season, man. That's it. I'm on team cancel the season. I'm on team cancel the season.
Oh man. And you know what sucks, man? I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna be a whiny little bitch for a second here.
The
guys.
Yankees are going to the World Series,
No.
I'm right there with you, man.
Omo, no, you're close to what I was gonna say.
Garrett Cole, Giancarlo Stanton, Gleyber Torres with another year under his belt. A healthy Judge when the season comes back. Yep.
May I speak? No,
yes.
I was gonna say that I live. This third world problems. It's me time. I wish we had sound like a wah little baby. Wah.
First world problems, not third world. Third world problems would be like you can't get water.
You know, you're right. I'm sorry, I fucked up. First world problems. I live in Pennsylvania. I don't have the Yes Network, so I can't even watch like reruns of Yankee games. When I turn on the TV, I have to watch reruns of Philly games or whatever MLB Network and ESPN decides they want to give me. I don't have the choice. What if I want to see the 1996 New York Yankees defeat the Atlanta Braves 4 consecutive games for a championship? What if I want to see 1998 Scott Brosius throwing his hands in the air?
All that stuff is on YouTube. You know that, right?
But I want it on. I want it on an old good old. I want to crack a beer open.
What kind of television do you have, man? Here we go. I gotta see what kind of TV do you have?
I have a Wega tube.
A what?
I'm just kidding. That was like the old Sony Wega TVs. No, I have Samsung like flat screen TVs.
Is it Wi-Fi? Is it a smart TV?
He's smarter than I am. Yes.
I feel like I'm yelling because my ears are muffed and I'm like I'm in a room by myself. But
my ears are so hot right now, man.
I'm chilling in here. It's not that bad as it usually is, but it's a smart TV, so you can get YouTube on it.
Yeah.
See where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. But still, man.
And you can find it on your phone and just click to put it on your TV instead of you using the remote to click.
Yeah, but not every game is available.
I'm pretty sure the game that you're looking for is there. Just what
if I want to watch a random?
Hey, I'm on YouTube right now. Just yell out a random game.
All right, Paul O'Neill, three home runs, 1 game. California Angels, I think it was 1993.
I'm just gonna type in Paul O'Neill 3 home runs. We got a 2-minute long clip of him hitting it in Yankee Stadium.
I don't want to see a 2-minute clip. I want to see the whole goddamn game. I want to relive the moment. I sat on the third base line, few seats back.
You went to that game?
My dad was my first game I ever went to.
Oh, that's why Paul O'Neill's your favorite Yankee.
Attaboy.
Okay. I'll find it for you, man. It's not on YouTube, but it's out there.
Okay, so there you go. See, like I don't want to jump through hoops. I want to turn on the Yes Network.
Hold on there. See, this is a pointless conversation but just so you know, that game wouldn't be on Yes Network anyways, would it? Not
Sometimes I could look in the TV guide and it might say on Saturday at 3 p.m. they're gonna play the Paul O'Neill 3-home run game.
When's the last time they played that game?
I don't know.
I'm just right now YouTube just seems like the better choice.
Or like if I want to watch like I know that they have content on the Yes Network that would interest me. Like I don't have that here. I have fucking NBC Sports Philadelphia. Like I don't care about the Phillies.
Speaking of the Phillies, can I complain about something? I'm sorry to. Can you want to finish your thought on whatever?
That's all, man. That's all. It's just I wish I had the Yes Network. That's all.
So just to recap, before you said first world problems, I wish I had Yes Network. And the point is because you want to kick back and watch Yankee highlights with a beer, Yankee content with a beer.
For example, I spoke with a friend recently. He's a Spurs fan. And they played the Spurs. I think it was the Spurs Heat. I forgot what year that was. And I'm like, you're lucky, man. I can't even watch MSG here. Even though the Knicks suck, there's no MSG here. But I'm not talking about the additive. I'm talking about Madison Square Garden Network.
Hold on, because I thought that Yes Network was streaming now. YouTube has dropped Yes Network. Never mind.
Yeah, but it's still blackout restrictions apply. I live not blackout restrictions. I live outside of the service area, so they wouldn't provide it here. Believe me, I looked into this.
Well, here's what you do. It looks like you can get Yes Network on Hulu with live TV. I personally wouldn't do it because it looks like it's like $60 a month, which is insane.
That's too much for Yes Network.
But if you ever did get a hold of something with the blackout restriction, what you do is you download a VPN and you switch your location to a different state or a different country.
Ah.
Use ExpressVPN if I had to recommend one. It's $15 a month. But you switch your location, you can surf the web naked.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's just how I like surfing the web. So thanks for.
Yeah, I'm a cool guy over here leaning onto the mic.
By the way, is that where the magic happens right behind you there, man?
Nah. That would be a no.
Okay.
So, when you mentioned the Phillies before, can I bring something up that bothered me? So, this story was published April 11th, 2 days ago, Saturday, the day before Easter.
Gotcha.
Jesus' Day. Zach Wheeler. You're familiar with Zach Wheeler?
Yeah, I heard of him.
He, quote, he's not for MLB's proposed idea. Quote, not going to miss the birth of my first child. End
there you
quote.
Go.
Here's what it says. After signing a 5-year, $118 million deal with the Philadelphia Phillies, Zach Wheeler states, after hearing MLB's proposal, says, quote, I am not going to miss the birth of my first child. I don't care. I'm going to be there for her and the birth of my child. That's a fact. I think anybody would do the same thing, any dad, whether I have to come back here, Atlanta, and be with her and miss 2 more weeks because I have to be quarantined to play again, so be it. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, can you blame him?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think players aren't gonna want to go to a bubble city and stay there for 4 months. They're not gonna see their families for 4 months.
Nobody wants to do that, but nobody wants to do that. But if that's the option that you are presented with, you better be in fucking Bubble City, whatever it's called. And I want to go on a rant here for a little bit. I think we have to stop romanticizing every aspect of human life. Like, oh, I'm here for my child's firstborn, which is important, mind you. I think it's an important thing. But if you're a Major League Baseball player, contracted, you signed a $100 million deal, would you rather be the construction worker that can be there for his child's firstborn, or the millionaire, the multimillionaire professional MLB baseball player? Mind you only have to play once a week because of these babies today. You only have to go 6 innings once a week.
Yeah.
And you signed the contract. I feel like you have a contractual obligation to play because the Phillies took a chance with you. They're the ones that gave you the deal. You agreed to it. So I personally think that while I think it's important to be there for your wife. You're in love. You want to be there for your first child born. First of all, the child doesn't give a shit, right?
That's a good point.
And you're getting paid millions, man. Like, you're not like a 1 year signing that they're going to roll you out there every 5 days. You were given a 5-year deal. You're probably the third best pitcher on that team. They want you to go out there and perform. So the fact that you're like, I don't care if I miss more time because of this, the season is already short enough. Like, I personally think that he's wrong for going that route. And I'm not a dad either, so I'm a child, 2 parents, you know. I'm not. You're a dad, so tell me, like,
I don't know. I don't know if I would want to miss the birth of my child. As much as they drive me fucking crazy. But Wheeler maybe he doesn't know that yet. I don't know. But you made a good point though. You made a good point that he's a pitcher. He'd probably miss 2 or 3 starts. If he's willing
in a shortened season,
if he's willing to leave for the birth of his child, return, be quarantined for 14 days, and miss 3, 4, 5 let's say 4 starts, he doesn't get paid for those 4 starts, then his problem. He's hurting his own team. His teammates will let him hear it, I'm sure.
But don't you think that him wanting to be there in a hospital with his wife, putting himself at risk to get the virus, you know, like purposely putting himself at risk? And here's another scenario. Do you think LeBron James wants to play on Christmas Day every year?
No.
Would I rather be LeBron James than me though? Would I rather be in his shoes?
Sure.
Than okay?
Yeah,
so
no, I see what you're saying. You're millionaires.
I think
fine. Yeah.
I think that if you want to be a guy like in this scenario, there's just this very specific scenario because of the whole coronavirus, and because if there was no coronavirus, I wouldn't mind him going to miss a day or 2 and come back and just skip a start if his start so happens to land on that day, because the world is normal. He's allowed to go across state and come back. But given the circumstances, you are just in the position where you shouldn't just leave and possibly quarantine yourself for another month if you have to, and miss more starts after the team just gave you $100 million. Like, I think we just have to stop romanticizing everything in our human culture. Like the scene in Little Giants when the dad comes from his business scene and he's waiting for his son at the end of the end zone and he breaks every tackle. That's a movie. Like the Mighty Ducks always coming back against the team that they're playing, and you have Kenan Thompson's character hits the puck in the weird way, and it's the ball's like flying through the air, and ducks fly together. It's movies. Like, that's a movie. In real life, like, you're getting paid money to do a job. Miss the firstborn moment. Miss it. Fuck it.
I see what
it's
you're
not
saying.
that serious. It's not that serious.
I see what you're saying. When you have a significant other, I will replay this.
I think that if I am a professional athlete and I am at the altar with my soon-to-be wife, and the priest says, "Do you take this guy's hand in marriage or whatever?" I will be like, 1 second, and I look at her in the eyes and I'll say, "You realize that because I'm a professional athlete, I'll be gone for half the year. Your life is going to be put under a microscope because I'm famous. And I might miss Christmas if I'm in the NBA. I might miss our children's graduation since I'm a Major League Baseball player and we play in the summer. I'll miss New Year's and Christmas because I'm a professional football player. You know, like, I think she'll be all right."
Yeah. No. Okay. I got you.
I'm not heartless, man. I just feel like
I think in many respects you're right. At the same time, I think that a lot of players are going to feel like Zach Wheeler feels. And I think that's going to hurt the chances of there being any baseball. Unless if significant others can come to the bubble city, which why not? If you're quarantining an entire hotel for a team, why can't these players, you know what the problem is? We need widespread testing already, man. Like, you go to fucking Japan, in Korea, they're checking the players' temperatures as they walk into the stadium. If your temperature's at a certain level, 99.5 or something, they send you home. You're not playing today. Goodbye. That's what needs to happen. And once we have widespread testing too, where you can check people regularly, and these millionaire fucking teams are going to be buying up a shitload of tests. That's the reason why they were finding out before anybody else whether or not they had coronavirus. None of this is going to fucking happen. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, back to what you said about players not wanting to be away from their loved one for 4 months. Again, cut the shit. Like, we have virtual communication where we're seeing each other. I know people that haven't seen their parents during this whole thing.
I haven't seen my parents, man.
You're just a regular guy.
I missed them.
You're just a regular guy, man.
Just a regular Joe out on the streets. Or
and
actually,
you're
by
willing,
streets, I mean the hallways in my house right here.
And I know you live with your kids and your wife, but you would have seen your parents by now, right? If you're telling me that I have to go away for 4 months, I'm on the contract to play. I got to go make those millions. I got to go, woe is me. I have to go play a children's game and get paid for it for 4 months. The world is so cruel. Oh my God. Like I feel like these guys, like, I think you'll only hear the guys like Zach Wheeler who signed their contract complain about stuff like this.
No, you're right.
I think. Because there's guys in the minors that would kill to be in that position.
As someone like, again, Yankee bias here, as someone like Gleyber Torres who doesn't have a multi-year deal, who, if he gets hurt and is out for the rest of the year, is not going to make any more money next year than he did this year. Or ask a regular minor leaguer, like you said, in the Red Sox systems or the Mets system or whatever, they're going to play no matter what's happening.
Exactly.
So
they don't get to be like, nah, you know what? If I don't want to play and I gotta get quarantined for 2 weeks, I don't care. Like, I gotta be there.
No, you're right. Zach Wheeler is in a position of privilege and he can say something like that. No, you're right. I got you. You're right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I take it all back. I wouldn't necessarily have said, who cares if you missed the birth of your own child? He's not gonna remember. But I understand the greater point. I get.
If you're a guy that is addicted to scratch off tickets and that's the reason you miss your child's firstborn's,
then you're a fucking degenerate. Yeah.
Then you're wrong in that. But if your season just so happens to align with the worst thing that's ever happened in human history, and your professional baseball player that's being asked to be there because your team is paying you money because they're trying to win a World Series or whatever, I feel like you should put your emotions aside and be there for the team, for the organization that's paying you.
You're right. No, you're right, man.
And that is just me.
No. I think you're correct.
And I'm sorry for any females out there that listen to the show and think that I'm,
Did you hear that, wife? Yeah. Okay. No, just kidding. All right. So, what do you think? Let's bring it all back because I'm hearing some mumbles and grumbles out on the side, and I have a feeling we're gonna have to
reel it back.
Arizona Bubble City, Japan, or neither? Which one do you think is more likely to happen?
Neither.
Yeah, same here. I something tells me that baseball's, which is kind of cruel in a way. They're giving us hope. Like, we're working on it. We're being creative. But I think at the end of the day, there probably isn't going to be any baseball, and that's okay. It sucks, but it's not. At least we didn't start the season, got our hopes up, and then the season abruptly ended, like the NBA and the NHL. If anything, it sucks more for them because you see a team like the Lakers, were on fire. The Milwaukee Bucks on fire, and who knows what they're going to be. LeBron's going to be a year older next year. Is Anthony Davis a free agent next year? I don't remember.
I actually think
one more year. He is?
I actually think he might because I know he turned down an extension.
Okay. So, for them, that it sucks. I don't know what's going on in the NHL, but I know that they were about to start their playoffs. It kind of sucks. But the good news is that for the NBA, unlike baseball, you need 5 players on the court. How many players are on the roster? 10, 12 or something? You have a couple of coaches on the court. You could probably make it happen. You know what I mean?
Actually, but the thing about the NBA, though, right? They got to be on each other the whole time.
Contact,
yeah. They can definitely get away with doing like dunk contests and 3-point contests, and I know they're trying to do a game of horse.
Yeah.
like a virtual game of horse, which actually I forgot to mention. MLB The Show's having the concept that you mentioned in our last episode. They're having one player representative from each team take part in a tournament, I guess, for MLB The Show. And I saw, I don't think it's over. I think it's still going. I guess they're gonna try to do it every weekend. But Fernando Tatis hit 3 home runs with himself by himself, like
Nice.
as himself.
And I think Joey Gallo went 4-0, 4 for 4 or something against Blake Snell, who's like a extreme gamer or some shit.
He is, yeah.
Amir Garrett. Something happened with Amir Garrett. I can't remember what it was, but
He won. He actually won the original
tournament.
not the original, but the first tournament that they did. He won it.
I was thinking I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. I'm gonna say it here. I was thinking we should do something like this. Try to get some podcasts and do a tournament with other podcasts. And you'll be our representative since you're the gamer.
Yeah.
You know, so you're excited about that idea.
It's because when I think of me playing MLB The Show, I picture myself like a little above average player. And if you tell me to play somebody that, you know, for the sake of just representing their podcast, they come on the show or they come on to the stream and play me, and I end up beating them like 20-0, I don't feel good about that personally.
Fuck it, man. I
feel good if I were to beat somebody like that who's at my level or slightly better.
Right.
You know.
All right, fuck you too, man.
I would not enjoy us playing. You have not played MLB since what, like 90s?
Okay, all right there. Take it easy.
2006.
I think I got the first when it first came out with the MLB The Show. I got the first game. I forget who was in the cover. David Ortiz. Yeah, I had that.
2006.
And that was it.
Okay.
And I loved it. I loved it, by the way.
Yeah, the game has not changed much besides Diamond Dynasty being added to it.
Yeah,
but
I used to play franchise mode, or I used to create a player and make my way through the show.
Yeah, because that's when they introduced the Road to the Show thing, and there was a little glitch in those games back then where you could like lead off the base enough times to make the pitcher throw over, but by the time that he threw over, you were gone. So I think I stole like 300 bases that season.
Wow, Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, but anyways, like, you have not played that game since 2006. I would not enjoy playing 9 innings against you today.
All right, pump your brakes.
So,
Tiny Dancer. I played Madden for the first time. Has to be since 2006 too, against my little nephew, and not Nicholas on the other side. His name is Steven, and he plays a lot, and I beat his ass. So
I haven't gotten Madden in like 2-3 years, and I'm gonna get it in August. So if he plays it,
once these fingers start, you know, this is how I hold my control. By the way, once these fingers start going, it's unstoppable, bruh.
I actually think I'm better at Madden than
MLB The
MLB.
Show.
Yeah, and I haven't. Yeah, but I dream.
Keep dreaming. All right. So that was the show for today, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we got through an entire show. Well, minus one little glitch where you became small for like 5 seconds and then you got big again. But overall, it seemed to go pretty smoothly. We're gonna keep working out the kinks, make this shit a professional show to the point where they're gonna want to put this on TV. CT. I'm just saying it right now. I'm gonna put this out there in the world. Nothing to say. Okay. So.
I thought you were gonna keep going. Sorry, I was looking at the stream view, and it looked like you were still talking. So.
All right. So follow us at WT The Show on Instagram and Twitter. Go to our website WTTSpod.com, which is right here, and that's it. Peace out, everybody.